Hello everyone, Mike1227 here, welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and we are in Kakariko Village. It is now nighttime, and we just got done getting a big bulk of the story told to us and laid out by Impa, and I actually cut out a little bit of the end of that conversation where she marked off on the map where the divine beasts actually are located. And I didn't want that to be shown, I guess. I don't know, I just don't want you guys to know where. Like, if you haven't played the game, I don't want you to know where exactly on the map they are. So, and she also did point me in the direction of where I should probably go next, which is the other village that we saw on that sign last time. We had a sign at a cross path pointing one way to Kakariko and one way to a village called Hatino. So that's where Impa recommended us to go. I actually did not follow that recommendation my first time through. And I deeply regretted that because you get something pretty nice when you actually do what you're supposed to do. Um, so I'm probably going to do that this time and get what I need from the other village, Hatino. So that's pretty much my next destination. Um, I'm, but I'm kind of going to be loosely going that way. It's directly east from here. So after I get done... Ooh, wow, he gave me a pumpkin. I'm not really paying attention to what this guy has to say. I thought I was just going to get a carrot out of the ground, but apparently... Oops. No. I saw nothing. But apparently he decided to give me a whole pumpkin, which is a very good ingredient for cooking. And there's some river snails. Those can be used for cooking. You can tell by the prefix, not prefix, but the description calling them sneaky, that they're used to influence your stealth. What do I want to do? I want to find the shrine that is located nearby. So let me look around. It's high up. It might be actually right up here. Yeah, this should be where it is. So we'll go ahead and run up this way. And after we're done up here, there's actually two things we can do up here. So we'll start with the shrine, and then yeah, the bulk of this episode will be spent kind of up behind the village up here. Okay, this one is called Taylor Naig's Teaching. So this is actually going to be a tutorial shrine, believe it or not. So we're going to learn a little more about combat, as it turns out. So I'm going to get me a one-handed weapon. I don't have any great ones. The best thing I have is this boomerang, which I don't really want to use. I guess I would hope I can get away with just using a Boko Club. I have 3 of them, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I mean, you can do this with a two-handed weapon, but there's something in here that requires you to have a one-handed weapon, so we're going to just have a one-handed weapon for this. Alright. So, yeah, obviously, you can tell that this was meant for very early in the game, if they're giving you tutorial in this shrine. So, still a little bit of tutorial still going on, even though we're out of the Great Plateau, there's still some tutorial. So we're going to go ahead and target, and we're going to do a side hop. So yeah, just like in other Zelda games, you have your traditional dodges. Now what I want to do is time it right. There you go. Time it just right. Oh, sorry, something in my throat. If you time it just right, you do a perfect dodge, and you'll be rewarded with an opportunity to do a flurry rush, which will allow you to just wail on the enemy, as you know, and just get tons of hits in, and you know, as you can tell, it slows down time. So we can try it. I don't know what he just There. I don't know if it wanted me to do that. I think it wants me to do the shield bash. There goes my Boko Club. I really probably should have saved the Boko Club for the shield bash, but this is the other thing it's going to teach us. Yeah, perfect guard. So the parry, I guess you can call it. So I think this is what the game wanted me to do. I don't really know. Let's get another Boko Club out. And because this one you need the shield for, or like you need the two-handed weapon or the one-handed weapon for. That was bad. I did a parry, but I was unable to land any hits in because I was too far away. Because against the Boko Club doesn't have very good range. That was kind of embarrassing. Charge attacks. Okay, so this is where you can. Something I mentioned before. You hold down the attack button and you do a spin attack in the case of a one-handed weapon. But yeah, I mean the things that they're teaching here, they all can be done with the two-handed weapons, with the exception of the shield bash, which requires you to have a one-handed weapon, because that's the only way you can have your shield out. This is a pretty good weapon. We're going to get ourselves the Guardian Sword, so I'm going to try to save that. A good strategy in this game is when you get real good weapons, don't waste it on weak enemies. So, right now, that Ancient Sword is probably the best thing I got. I don't know. I'll take a look. Let me see, actually. That's, yeah, it's a 20 power. Definitely the best thing I got. By far, actually. But we will stick with this. Let's actually go with the spear. That's not a spear, it's a torch. That's even worse. Let's do a spear. Do I have one? Yeah, good. I just feel like I'm in the mood for a spear when we go out into the wilderness, which is what we'll be doing towards the end of the episode. First, let's get out of here, get our spear orb, and as I mentioned before, man, there is something bad in my throat. I'm sorry, I'm gonna need to take a drink in the middle of this loading screen. But yeah, as I mentioned before, there is something else up here nearby the shrine at the top of the hill beyond Kakariko, so we're gonna go check that out now. I still have something in my throat. That did not help, so this might be a rough episode at times with commentary. Okay, so we're gonna go up this way now, and there's something unique along the way here. What we're gonna be finding at the end of this is a pretty big deal, but there's something unique along the way that I want to look out for. There it is. Okay, so you can maybe see it there. There is a white bunny right there, so if we shoot that with an arrow, some rupees will pop out. That's the first time we've ever gotten a green rupee, apparently. And probably a blue rupee as well. And maybe a red rupee? They'll drop like the lowest 3 rupees, green, blue, and red. So yeah, if you ever see those things, you want to sneak up on them and shoot them with an arrow. You can't really do much else with them. I thought, like when I first saw them, I thought you could collect them. But yeah, so we're approaching this big plant-like structure, and you can also see something familiar here, some fairies. So we can actually sneak up on these. You want to make sure you sneak on them because they will fly away if you get too loud. And fairies will serve the same purpose they always have in the Zelda games, except you don't have to put them in a bottle this time around. You just grab them and they're in your inventory, which is very nice. So yeah, they serve the same purpose. They bring you back to life when you die, and they recover 5 hearts. So so we're seeing fairies, and you may wonder what that means. Well, let's see. A mysterious figure calling me a sweet boy, and I guess if I would have passed, then it would just not do anything for me. Yeah, so it wants rupees, so this is This kind of reminds me of when I was at the gas station earlier today and someone asked me for gas money. This is the lamest attempt to get gas money. Oh wow, I do not have 100 rupees. To say the least, I do not have 100 rupees. In fact, all the rupees I just got were from that bunny. So I don't have 100 rupees. I will keep them because I don't have any. Truly tragic. Okay, well, I know I just picked up an opal. That's 60 rupees. Oh damn. Um, should have thought that through. I mean, I kind of forgot that those things needed rupees to open them up. Um, so now we have a little bit of a sidetrack there. That was lizard, and I missed it. Lizards are one of the tougher materials to get because they're tough to see, and once you get up on them, they'll run away and disappear rather quickly. Um, yeah, so I want to jump on down. I'm going to try to sell some stuff. I'm going to actually pause and see what I got. See if it's even worth going in there. Opal 60, and yes, you may think fairies would be worth a lot of money, but they're not. They're only like 3 rupees. So that's 60. I have a meal that maybe it will help me through. I don't really care that much for the 2 heart restore. I'll be eventually getting better meals, maybe actually right after I do this. So I want to find that shop. Well, I guess it can be any shop. It doesn't have to be the basic shop. There's another lizard just got away. It's gonna happen all the time. It's gonna bother me. Where is the shop? Any shop will do. I don't think the inn will do. Every town has an inn. I don't think I've showed that. Maybe I did. Okay, this is the clothing store. This is good enough. Usually she shouts at you. Why does she not shout at me? Usually she'll be like, hey, come over here. She's very friendly, the lady outside the clothing store. Yeah, I've spent all my rupees in here on the clothing I'm wearing now, on the Hylian clothes. So let's see if I can scratch together 100 rupees here. So the opal's the big thing that's gonna help me out. 60 rupees, but boy, I don't know where I'm gonna get the other 40. I think my best chance is my meals. That's only 10. I'll come back to that. I could sell tons of... Actually, you know what I can do? I can sell these worn clothes. That is 30 rupees right there, because we're never going to be wearing these again. So, get rid of the worn trousers and the worn shirt, or the old shirt. That's 30 rupees, and then I can just... I only need 4. I'm not going to sell my meal now. So let's see, what can get me 4? Without, like, getting rid of something that I really want. An amber, actually, that's 30 rupees right there, so that gives me a little bit extra to run around with. So, we'll do that. And I'm just gonna meet you back up at the top of that hill now. Alright, we are back. I thought that bunny was gonna respawn, but usually have to go pretty far away from the area, like maybe leave the village in order for the bunny to respawn. Eventually it disappears. That's something I haven't mentioned yet with certain materials like animals or creatures, animals, bugs, creatures, whatever. They actually disappear after a little while after you see them and scare them away. So, yeah. So here we go. We have enough rupees this time. We'll fork it over. They are back and gained some weight apparently. That was mean. Okay, but yep. So we have great fairies again, And to tell you the truth, they're kind of a disappointment in this game. They don't really do what you may think they would. Like in other games, they've granted you very good upgrades. Um, and in this game, they just upgrade your clothing, which is nice. Um, and and as you upgrade it to a certain point, it can be really nice. Um, like right now, what we'll be doing is just enhancing, if I even can enhance. I'll enhance my Hylian tunic, but that's going to be the one I'm wearing most of all. Well, not most of all, but, half the time. Anyway, I do have what I need for it. 19, or 5 Bokoblin horns. I have 19 total. But yeah, so when you upgrade clothing, you'll need monster parts, and the upgrade will generally just give you more defense, which seems underwhelming at first, and it is, kind of, in a way, but you may have just saw that there's a star now, and actually she might have just been talking about what I was about to talk about. I don't know. Let's try doing the hood as well. I got enough for that. I'm really not going to mess with, for now, the clothing that gives me special enhancements I'm only going to be wearing in certain situations, like the climber's gear, and later on, there'll be gear for the cold and for the hot and all that. I don't really know if I'm going to mess with upgrading that or not, but clothing like that, if you enhance it enough, you can actually, I probably should have went ahead and upgrade my pants too. Let me do that. I'm going to cut a little bit of footage. That used up just about everything I got, so I got about 5 Bokoblin horns after all that. But at least my whole Hylian outfit is upgraded to 1 star. So yeah, so you'll see a star up here next to the clothing piece that got upgraded. And if you upgrade it 3 times, at least I'm pretty sure it's 3, you may actually get a special bonuses on them as well. And that generally just goes with the clothing that has special properties like cold resistance, heat resistance, stealth, faster climbing, and so on. So when you get your triple upgrade on those and get your bonus, then those clothing sets, and you have to wear them as a set too, because every piece of I don't know, like every piece of clothing comes as a set. So when you have a full set of fully upgraded clothing that has a special property, that special property will be enhanced quite a lot from where it starts out, if that makes any sense. But really, that just doesn't seem worth it at all. I haven't done that at all in my original file. I've never fully upgraded any of my clothing. So, I'm not going to do it here. So really, to me, I'm sticking with my word and saying the Great Fairies are kind of underwhelming to me. I will still definitely go to them whenever I get the chance, and, if I can upgrade my clothing, why not? I might as well. I really never noticed the difference in defense. I just don't notice it at all. So, and because the other thing is, there's tons of other factors that go into it. For one thing, there is there's some food that enhances your defense. Like, I think I have something on me that's iron shroom. I forgot to cook, by the way. I said I was going to cook back there, but I didn't. Oh well. So, yeah, I really should have cooked too, but oh well. I'll just do it when I get to Hatino. That's kind of my next destination. I hope I'm not going the wrong way. I'm totally going the wrong way. Because there's a Korok there that I've already gotten. I wanted to head out north. Let's just climb, if I can. Maybe I can try to get on top of this tree. Damn it. Let me get some of these, too. Stem shrooms are really good. They, would cooked in a dish, they should, enhance your stamina, which is very nice. Um, and, well, not so much enhance your stamina, but they'll replenish your stamina. Which I might even need. I mean, so really I should go back and cook. I don't know. Let's see if I have any chance of getting anywhere with the stamina that I have. I kind of doubt it, but I'm going to at least give it one shot. If not, I'll cut footage and go to the northern part of Kakariko. I'm pretty sure I entered from the south. Boy, it looks like I can maybe stand on that. Very iffy. It's sloped just enough that maybe I can let go. I know I can't make it up the whole thing. Okay, let's try it. Wait, hold on. Stop. He kind of slides a little bit. I don't think that really helped me that much. If I do it just right, I can recover enough stamina to maybe get me to the top. What I'm honestly just gonna do is just keep going, though. I'm not gonna make it. Let's do this. Stay. No, I gotta run up at just the right time. Okay, so what you do is you climb a little bit. You let go, and then you let go, and then you let it go a little bit, but then you want to get back on before you slip. So you kind of let it sit there for like a second or two, and then we probably have enough to go. So that's what you do in that situation. If it's just a little bit too steep for you to stand perfectly still, what you want to do is you just kind of want to slide down a little bit for like a second, and then you'll replenish it a little bit of stamina, and then you'll have to start climbing, and then and rinse and repeat. Okay, so this is really the direction I want to go in. I would think east. I have a pretty good sense of direction in this game. I like to think I do. There's really no real way without a map to tell if you're going north, what cardinal direction you're going in. But I'm pretty sure I'm going east, at least somewhat east. I mean, as long as you know your surroundings, like Death Mountain's pretty much up at the north of the map, so I would say I'm almost going northeast. But yeah, once you learn the map, you'll kind of be able to just guess what direction you're going in. So, and that's really just a sign of really good game design, that I don't need to constantly pause to see what direction I'm going in. I'm pretty confident that I'm heading in the right direction just after playing through the game all the way through. I mean, if this was my first playthrough, I would probably have to continue pausing and checking my map. I probably... Ooh, speaking of... I'm not speaking of, but... I have a little problem in my hands. My battery's about to die in my controller. I'm actually using the gamepad right now because I was afraid of my battery dying on my other controller, which is the Pro controller. So, I'm close to the end of this episode, so I might switch controllers between episodes, so hopefully I can make some progress here before my battery dies. I forgot what I was talking about. I hate that I was like on a discussion there about the map and all that, but then I knew I wasn't done yet, but I forgot like what point I was trying to make there. I mean, I guess the point I was trying to make is that it's good sign of good game design that once you explore enough, you'll be able to know your way around. In other words, what I mean is like, it's just there's so many recognizable landmarks, I guess, for lack of a better term. There aren't really a lot of times where you'll be wandering around somewhere and you'll have no clue where you are. As long as if you explore the map enough and you just kind of look around, you'll be like, okay, so I'm in this area right now. So they've just done a good job of making the map fairly recognizable. There's a shrine down there. This is actually very close to the Zora region, which is probably what I'm going to be going to near the end of the game, around um, around the second half. Um, so I'm gonna tell you right now, one of the divine beasts is located in the Zora region. Essentially, like the divine beasts are located in a region that corresponds to four of the main races in this game, not including humans. There are Zoras, Gorons, Rito, and Gerudo. And that's kind of what I use to refer to the four divine beasts in their regions. You know, the Zora region, Goron region, Rito region, and whatever whichever one I didn't say region. There goes my memory. That was embarrassing. That shrine's calling my name. It's right there in the screen. To tell you the truth, I'm not entirely sure where exactly Hateno Village is from right here. I know I'm close because I know there are snowy mountains. As you can see ahead, there are snowy mountains nearby Hateno Village. So I think I want to head in this direction. And I'm getting awfully close to getting ready to end this episode. I hope my battery doesn't die. See, for most of this playthrough, I'm gonna be using the Pro controller, but you know, I'm gonna have to at times let that charge up and use the gamepad. Because as far as I know, the Pro controller does not charge. Oh my God, this is Lino. Oh my God, that's a Lino. I want no part of that. Oh, is there a... Oh my goodness. Did he see me? Okay, so let me just point this out. This is a Lino. These are the toughest enemy in the game. They hit hard, they have great AI, have tons of health. I also hear Hinox, which is actually not that intimidating later on in the game, but right now, the way we're equipped, I do not want to have any part of a Hinox either, but definitely no Linos. They are... Oh, he just roared too, just to intimidate me even more. Yeah, they are frightening to fight. But once you... Oh, I need to put on my... warm doublet. Hopefully that's good enough to keep me warm here. I don't think... I'm honestly a little bit afraid that I won't be able to stay warm in here, so I might want to go around this. So... Oh boy, I really don't want to deal with this Linol. I'm not going to deal with them. I don't even remember him being here. To tell you the truth, this part of the map I don't really recognize. Which is kind of a nice feeling. You know, oh god. It's a question mark above his head, which means he knows there's something going on, but he hasn't quite been alerted to my presence. He's like you notice with enemies they'll have a question mark appear above their head, and that will show that they're suspicious, but they don't know that you're here. And then when you see an exclamation mark on their head, that means that they know you're here, and you better be prepared to fight them. There is a Hinox right there. So the good thing about Hinox is that they're always sleeping when you're not fighting them. And it doesn't... It's actually pretty... It's not as easy to wake them as I was originally afraid of when I first played the game. So... I don't think I have to worry about waking him, so I'll just go past him. Oh. Yeah, and once again I got off subject. That little distracted me from what I was talking about with the controllers. Yeah, I am going to have to stop the episode right here. and switch controllers. Because again, as I was saying before I end off, like um, I'm mainly going to be using the Pro controller for this, but at times I'm going to be using the gamepad, which I actually will need to use the gamepad in order to do certain puzzles. And actually, one nice thing about the gamepad, and I don't want to do that. I want to get my arrows out. Is you can aim with the gyroscope. So, yeah, of course, you can turn that off. But it's much easier to aim, in my opinion, with the gyroscope than it is to use the control stick on the Pro controller. So, I do really like using the gamepad, but it's not as comfortable to hold as the Pro controller. So I'm going to be using the Pro controller for most of the playthrough. So, but in order to charge my battery, on the Pro controller, I'm gonna need to substitute it with the gamepad, because I'm pretty sure with the Wii U, you have to have the Wii U on to charge your controller. Let me get it away from this so I can end this episode. We'll just fight them. What the hell? It's only one of them, right? Usually they come in groups, so this one just came as a solo, I guess. Let's stop right here. I feel like I'm pretty close to Hatino. Hopefully next time I can at least get it in my sights. So, next time on Breath of the Wild, we will keep heading in the direction of where I believe Hatino Village is. So, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Mike1217, and I will see you later.